Alright folks, working on a Oshkosh 55,000A transfer case. A little windy out here, got fucking leaves everywhere. Got an old weight too. I drained the damn thing and I guess the pump must have been full, so I had it set a certain way and popped one of the yokes off and there it all came. I'm like, well, no wonder it holds so much. But I'm taking it apart. Pretty easy to take apart. Make sure you take your front axle flange off. That's it on the ground over there. That's the front shaft. And then you can leave your other input yoke on if you want to. I just turn it upside down so it'll be level, kind of level. You want to put it input shaft down, side. Pretty simple. Take your output yoke off, 2 3/4 inch nuts. Take your hose off. Take your shift fork release spring off, 2 1/2 inch head bolts, and then you got all the 3/4 all the way around. Top and bottom, take them off. Take your pump right here loose, 9/16. So we'll start it again when I take it apart. But it's pretty simple. It just comes right off the top side. It's nothing really holding it on. All right, folks. Took out the Hemmett case, got it apart. Pretty simple to take apart. Once all your outside bolts are apart, you got 2 push-off bolts right there, right on the bottom side here. Split it, comes apart. You got to pull the pump off and the rear yoke off. Actually, the rear yoke can actually stay on. In here you got your rear bearing housing, and this is the front wheel drive engagement. It sounds a little loud, but you can hear the bearing flopping around. So this is a nut here, comes off. It's a lock washer, knock it off. Pull your thrust plate or your bearing retainer off. Comes out. This does have a backlash set up on it, 0.03. Prying up on it with a dial indicator. Set it down. So got a bad bearing on that on the rear. As far as the intermediate gear, it appears to be fine. This bearing here actually is good. I put a race back on it. Sounds fine. The backside bearing has a good bit of noise, so that'll be replaced. Per it, I'll do that. And this thing right here. Get your input bearing up here. There's a needle bearing up under this gear. So if you spin this gear, not very good, but right. It'll spin and it'll just try to lock up a little bit. You can feel it just start catching right there. It's caught just a little bit. Trying to push back on it. A little more force. So, got some bad needle bearings up under this gear. Luckily, they're about $20 a piece. So, as far as this case goes, it's pretty simple. Has your shift fork for high-low. That's your shift fork for front axle engagement. So front axle, it'll slide back and catch. So that's got a lock on it. Got a detent and catch that. And that there is looking a little hot, but it wasn't ever engaged. So I don't know. But cases are pretty simple, honestly. This one here, about 30,000 miles on it. And that gear right there, it's real rough. So, look into that. But, take all that apart and get that main gear out of there. So, that front gear, you can just feel it. If you can hear it or not. to look at. But I mean, that right now we're in high range, so really that should not be spinning unless I'm in low range. So I mean, roll this case over real quick. Alright, roll that case over. I got that yoke up here catching a little bit, but I think in all honesty, I got some bad needle bearings. Blended all that. This back here seems to be all fine. This here's a little rough, but I don't know for sure. But it did get a little oil starved, but no big of a deal. So we'll pull it apart and set it and put some new needle bearings in it and go from there.